In the annals of kingdoms, empires, there are no two kingdoms that have been as enormous, rich, and powerful beyond the kingdom and empire that was created by this man called Ganghis Khan. His conquest, live, and history has become a landmark and an interwoven tapestry that resonates with a supremacy, unmatched potency, and a command that sheds light to the legacy of his amazing conquest. Now, I want to situate you to the reality of what and how great this man really was, having built a culture of wealth, power, but also so unique in ways we cannot compare with other great kings and monarchs of the old. Uh, let's How enormous were his empire. Nowadays, as of 2026, his entire empire will constitute a makeup of a total number of whopping 30 countries, primarily across Asia and Eastern Europe. And let's start with Mongolia. China, actually, he conquered the northern China and then the southern China later on. And Russia, including Siberia, southern Russia, and European Russia. Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Eastern Asia and Southeast Asia, including North Korea, South Korea, parts of Myanmar, parts of Vietnam, Middle East and South Asia, including Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, parts of Pakistan, and parts of Eastern Anatolia, which is Turkey, the northern parts of Syria, including Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Eastern Europe, including Ukraine, Moldova, Romania, Belarus. Then we've got the southern part of Poland, Hungary, Bulgaria, regions of Yugoslavia, including Kosovo, Serbia, Northern Macedonia, and Bosnia. Now, from 1206 to 1227, he personally conquered Mongolia, northern China, and parts of Central Asia, and China and Russia, whereas his grandsons expanded the empire at its peak. And the expansionist idea in 1279. They included big names like Kublai Khan and Batu Khan, including the rest of the entire China, Korea, and Eastern Europe. He alone and single-handedly conquered and owned and occupied a whopping 17% of the entire world land mass. That is equal to about 25.3 million square kilometers, equivalent to 9.8 million square miles, if you know what that means. His absolute control over the largest contiguous land empire in history takes Genghis Khan to about 100 to 130 trillion dollars in today's estimations, making him the second richest man in the entire history of kings, of monarchs, and of rulers, or even the net worth of any single individual in human history. He personally controlled the Silk Roads, trade routes that gave him a lot of money. He had a total number of 500 wives and concubines who all lived in orders which were vast years within the Mongolian steppe and coordinated an encampment. Finding such vast empire meant he united the warring nomadic tribes and creating a highly mobile army of 150,000 to 240,000 men in total.